1000xResist is the best story I've found in a video game, stretching across politics, philosophy, psychological drama, cosmic horror, and science fiction. And its ambition is partially because its developers, Sunset Visitor, were not professional game designers in the first place. They were actors and producers of art house theater who wanted to work on a new program during quarantine. They were a small team and had never made a full-length video game before, so yeah, it looks a little janky. Like when characters speak, their lips don't even move.
Sister, what are you doing out here?
This is also why the game itself is more like a visual novel with intervals of running around and occasional puzzles, with stark animation and limited cosmetic detail. But it counterbalances this with some truly stunning and surreal art direction that makes certain scenes feel like an immersive art piece or an interactive film. And what's also exceptional is the inspiration of its performances. If you're sensitive to it, you can hear the voice actors explore what tones and enunciation they can inflict on the listener, not just line by line, but word for word, adding emotional nuance through sparks of playfulness, vulnerability, or contempt, which offers a genuine unpredictability with each reading, encouraging me to never skip around in case I miss an inflection that would have changed the way I understood a line if I had only read it to myself. There are some truly legendary deliveries, including this random freestyle from a student sobbing in detention.
Behind the bars of detention, paying no attention, no rap, no rhyme, just laying down a sentence. People learn different, who am I to say no? The bad kids stay, the good kids go.
Wait a minute, is this a holding cell?
What does it look like to you?
So awesome. But what I love most about 1000xResist is its writing, which I'll talk about without giving too much detail on the literal plot, since I do think the game hits best going in blind. So to start, 1000xResist accomplishes something very rare in how its themes and symbolism work as metaphors for both psychology and politics simultaneously. This is done by its exploration of generational trauma through state control and parental control. Parenthood, after all, isn't purely nurturing, as parental guidance is also a vehicle for ideology. And just as a government must enforce its laws, ideologies must be taught with discipline. But so it goes, the execution of that discipline can be traumatic. Yet parents may justify their abuse simply because that was the way they were raised. Furthermore, their children adopt that abuse as normal, and just like that, the abuse is institutionalized, passed down and inherited through family treatment. And the sheer concept of this hits home for me as I get older, feeling the residue of my own family history and how the choices of my father and my father's father influence the person that I am today. And this is true for our political systems too, as we inherit old laws and traditions that may be outdated or adopted in bad faith against a better form of society. The game is very politically motivated, with excellent quotes on ethics, memory, history, language, and resistance, views that challenge each other throughout the game, asking the player to explore their own alignment, to choose which ideologies truly help society and which to dismiss. And if you think that's heavy, it also demonstrates how this process is almost symmetrical to the process of getting over psychological trauma. In the same way society regulates its people, our psychology is shaped through the memories we keep and the lessons we learn from them. In a perfect world, we would always learn healthy and productive things with every experience, but of course this isn't true. We all have confusing, humiliating, painful experiences that make us feel smaller and more helpless than we really are. So to let go of those traumas, we have to determine which lessons are useful and which are holding us back, just as a society must decide which ideologies are holding back its people. This culminates with the endgame sequence where you handpick which ideologies are kept and which are discarded. But really, as long as you remove the cops, the endings don't change that much depending on what you choose, suggesting that the point of it isn't so much about the story as much as it is to confront the player personally about what they believe. Much of the plot is spotty or unclear, as the storytelling is often fragmented across these virtual flashback sequences known as neurocommunions. which are records of a person's experiences that can be simulated for others, similar to the concept of brain dances in Cyberpunk 2077. This means a lot of the plot is dug out from specific moments in the past with sizable gaps between them that you have to fill in for yourself. And these communions also include experiences that the person had in their dreams, so not everything is reliable. On top of that, it's revealed that these files can be altered, meaning they can also be censored or manipulated as propaganda. There is constant mystery in all corners of the game, and that will frustrate some players because a lot of it is meant to be interpreted rather than solved. For me though, I think it makes these mysteries much more interesting to revisit. Upon replaying the game last year, my impressions of characters and their ideas changed, and on a third time through, my impressions will probably change again. Stories with ambiguity have replay value. It's why all those nuts rewatch The Shining to spot every detail that could reinterpret the whole movie. There is so much trust put in the player's hands to make sense of the whole experience, and I think that is a big part of why I felt so compelled to talk about it. One could say it's a little self-serious, but I think its tone is earned with an intellectual and emotional sincerity that I rarely see in any other pieces of media, not just other video games. 1000xResist isn't a game about winning since it's so narrative-based, and the narrative itself doesn't even show you its full hand. So the point of its engagement really is self-examination, to mature through your interpersonal and political conflicts represented by this dystopian world and its imperfect inhabitants. Beyond all that though, the game is funny too, helped by the fact that its protagonist, Watcher, is effortlessly endearing. And the soundtrack is mesmerizing, a futuristic new age mix concocted by Lane Cacho and Drew Redman, rich with ominous electronic drones, Blade Runner-esque synthesizers, and whimsical pianos. And as a side note, developers Sunset Visitor have just announced a new game, and I can't wait to see if it will live up to its predecessor, because this will be a studio I keep my eyes on for the rest of my life. For those looking for an introspective and emotional time, 1000xResist should be your highest priority. Whatever you're playing now, 1000xResist is 1000 times better. This is Colton Basinger. Thanks for watching.